Hello everybody and welcome to another Canguro English Daily Digest. It's Tuesday, best day of the week. And today I have some interesting things to talk about, I think. So today's word of the day is umbrage. Umbrage. Now, if you are a modern young, cool person, especially if you are in the sort of the black American culture. So if you're maybe like Rihanna or Drake or Nicki Minaj, somebody like that, then if you're talking about saying negative things about another person, like if you're going to insult another person, then we say you are throwing shade. To throw shade is to say bad things about another person. So if, for example, I say Nicki Minaj has no talent, then I'm throwing shade on Nicki Minaj. And throwing shade is basically a modern and cool way of saying this. Umbrage literally comes from the Latin word shadow, which means shade. So throwing shade, the posh thing is umbrage. So, you know, if you want to be cool in an old-fashioned way, then you can show umbrage to somebody or give umbrage. It's a noun, okay? So the second thing I want to talk about is look at this. This is my my computer, my Mac, but you can see it's disconnected because unfortunately I had to retire my Mac. My Mac, this is from 2009. For a computer, 2009 is the equivalent of a 1965 Lada for a car. This is so old that, you know, it's like from another planet. The problem is that it takes a very, very long time to render videos, and so, you know, between now and Christmas I need to make a lot of videos, and it was too slow, so I bought a new computer. And also I went back to a PC. I changed from Mac to PC, and I'm happy. It was good. So the other thing I want to talk about is this really, really interesting study. It was released when? 2018. I think a few weeks ago. It's a brand new study from the Association for Psychological Science. And so if you listen to my podcasts, I talk a little bit about how language can affect the way you think. Not in a profound way, but in small ways. Like language can change. You should listen to the podcast. Actually, I can't remember which podcast it is. Listen to all of them. And I talk a little bit about language changing your perception. And in this study, there's another example. So let me explain. Have a look at this. Okay, so you can see here let me just scroll down a bit. In Greek, let me do this for you. So in the Greek language, there's a difference between light blue and dark blue. There's two different words for light blue and dark blue. but there's only one word for light green and dark green. But in German, we have only one word for each. But in Russian is the same as Greek. So Russian has a special category for light blue and dark blue, and one category for green. Okay? So what, to me, this is kind of weird, right? Because, hang on, let me just focus. To me, this is kind of strange because it means that if a Greek person or a Russian person, if they want to say blue, they can't, they don't have a word for blue. You have to say light blue or dark blue. Which to me is weird because it's blue, it's a different type of blue. But for them it's not, it's like a different color. So in their brain, they have a different compartment, a different category. And that's important for the second part of the experiment, right? So what they did is they showed them some images on a screen. This is what they showed them. They showed them this. Okay, they showed them, hang on, let me try and focus. They showed them these, and they showed them these on a screen. So you can see we have a light blue triangle and a dark blue triangle together, or a light green triangle, dark green triangle together. And they showed them in a random order like this, with different shapes, okay, with different shapes. And now here's the crazy part, okay, here's the super interesting part. When they showed them the images on the screen, it was very easy for the Greek people to see the triangle, the blue on blue triangle. They could see that because in their brains, the blue and the blue are two separate categories. So the contrast is increased. Like for me, it's like, imagine if there was a blue triangle on a red background. The contrast in my brain is obvious. It's totally different. And it was the same for Greek and Russian speakers. When they see light blue, dark blue, the difference is like two different colors. But for the green, because it's in the same category in their brain, it wasn't as obvious. So they would ask them, this is the question: did you see a triangle? On the left or on the right, or I don't know. And how much of a triangle did you see? Nothing, a slight impression, a strong impression, or the complete triangle. So basically, this is the crazy part, is that sometimes they would not see the triangle when it was green. The triangle would disappear because there's no contrast of the colors, because there's no contrast of the mental category in your brain. So basically, ready? The language you speak can make something invisible. The language you speak can change your visual perception of the world. It can make things disappear. It's crazy. Crazy when you think about it. So Greek speakers and Russian speakers have this strange advantage. And it's all a question of vocabulary in the brain. Really interesting. I think I have to make a complete video about this, because there are other studies where your visual, what you see affects what you can learn. I have some ideas in my red book, but I'm very busy with the Fluentify course. Anyway, I gotta go. Thank you very much to my sponsors for making this video possible, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.